If you like Jujutsu Kaisen, you'll love Fruits Basket, okay? And we'll show you how to do the math to get there. Hello and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast, where we highlight and discuss new series each week. Today, we are trying something bold, something new, something different, and we are short one member. Cody is feeling a little under the weather, but don't think he's getting off easy. He will still be working hard and uploading videos until he feels better and is ready to come back. But my name is Josh, Slice of Life Michaels. And today, as always, I am joined by
Mehgan Soul Perrine. It's Slice of Life. It's just SOL is the shortened term. SOL?
Okay,
Slice of
like it's too early to curse, but like S out of luck.
No, it's Slice of Life.
Oh, right. It's an acronym. Right. We also have a new setup that you can see here. We're trying some new stuff. We're, rearranging some things. We told you we had stuff coming in 2022. We told you to get ready, and here it is. This is going to be a different type of video. Like I said in the beginning, we are going to be deciding once and for all what Slice of Life is, what soul is. Do you have a soul? Does Mehgan have a soul?
Oh, I got soul.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's got soul. We're going to be deciding once and for all what it is. We're going to be trying, hopefully, to convince anybody out there who might be on the fence about Slice of Life to give it a shot. We're going to be comparing it to other series, maybe giving you a better idea of what you might like if you like other, maybe more shonen-esque series. But before we get started, Mehgan, why don't we go over the Google definition of Slice of Life anime and manga, and then we'll go through my anime list, and we'll see what they or how they define Slice of Life.
Okay. So the wiki definition is Slice of Life anime and manga are narratives without fantastical aspects, which take place in a recognizable everyday setting, such as a suburban high school, and which focuses on human relationships that are often romantic in nature. So this is kind of already implying like a Slice of Life is just romance school type anime or manga, which is definitely not the case.
Yeah.
So just a little bit misleading in that aspect. There are a lot of romantic Slice of Life, but there also are a lot of Slice of Life that aren't romantic. So it's kind of weird that Wiki's definition is like romantic in nature.
Yeah, sometimes people like to classify Slice of Life too as being something that, can't be fantastical or magical. But, with series like Fruits Basket and, really there are so many that, you can point to as being fantastical. Maybe even, one that we're going to discuss a little bit later, Hinamatsuri even. They can have fantastical elements. They can have even, I would argue, they could even have a running sort of through line or a running through plot.
Yeah. A lot of people like disregard Slice of Life, like being like cute girls doing cute things. Like Eurocamp is definitely just cute girls camping. There's like a fishing Slice of Life that's just cute girls fishing. So when people think of Slice of Life, they usually think of that. But doing research for this video, it is kind of like insane how many Slice of Life, technically like a subgenre, there are even on my anime list, or like ones that I'd watched that I wouldn't really think were Slice of Life, and then going back I was like, I guess it is. Or there's just some aspects of like what Slice of Life is, like even Lucky Star, like I showed you Lucky Star. I've watched Lucky Star a long time ago. Like that is like completely Slice of Life. Like they're having discussions on how they prepare like their dinner, like, or like how they put away their socks, like stuff like that, which is like just day-to-day life and how they live, versus like something like Hinamatsuri or something like that, where they do day-to-day life things. Every episode does have different things that they do, but it's not just about that. They are trying to figure out something else or kind of mysteries going on.
Right.
So,
and you can get it on a technicality too, I feel
Yeah.
like, right? Like you can fall into, a series can fall into the subcategory of slice of life on a technicality.
Yeah.
And that's something we also kind of, wanted to talk a little bit about too, is that, there are series that might be considered maybe comedy slice of life or action adventure slice of life. Slice of life can not only be a main genre, but it can be a sub genre as well, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people watching know that, but I still do, like Mehgan mentioned earlier in the video, I still do believe that there are, a lot of people out there who do think that slice of life is just kind of cute girls doing cute stuff, doing, cooking or shopping or whatever, which is also a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, no, I am a sucker for slice of life. There's like some more than others, like Lucky Star is one of them. It is entertaining. It does have comedy, but something like Super Cub, which came out a couple seasons ago, if it's just a girl and her Vespa and her becoming more confident and meeting someone else, and that's like the highlight of the series. And then something else happens, but it is just her like going to school, going back from school, admiring the Vespa, going to sleep, waking up, going to school, riding it's literally just that. There's like, very little dialogue, and that can be maddening for some people because it's like, what am I doing? It kind of feels, I feel like some people think it's like a waste of time, but I mean, comfy, Yuru camp, come on. Like,
it's kind of like getting to be a voyeur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like just getting to spy and getting to like watch someone live their life.
But there is something like Kino's Journey. I think that's what it's called. It's just about this character going from place to place and meeting new people every episode and seeing how they either help them out or how they go their own way. And that would be like kind of a meet in the middle of like Super Cub and like, something's happening, but it's not really getting to a point where you need to know the overall plot, like a middle, begin, end. It's just kind of like, here's a little slice of life.
Yeah.
That's why it's called that.
Yeah, and in terms of shonen too, which I think is going to be interesting to kind of look at and compare and kind of see, if you do tend to gravitate towards these types of shonens or some of these shonens that we're going to name in particular or specifically. I do think, for me being a shonen guy and that being sort of how I, how I came into anime, it can be kind of maybe misunderstood or misconstrued that filler. Oftentimes, sometimes filler can feel like slice of life. Now, I do think that the technical definition of filler is, or I would say pretty confidently, that filler is anything, even if it is an arc that is full of action, filler is anything that is not in the manga or the original source material. But there are, I think of, Bleach obviously has a lot of filler arcs where they do, feel similar to arcs that happen in the main story. They're not as good, but and that's kind of how they're filler. But going. But
that could be like, I don't know. That could be argued. Like when we were talking,
definitively the filler arcs in Bleach.
bad, really bad.
Yeah.
But like, what are they doing? I mean, what would you classify as bad? Them just not doing any action stuff. Them not moving along the plot.
No. I think that they're just because that's the characters are poorly written, and I think when you're having to write filler, it's the same thing that happens when you're trying to write an anime movie. You're in a box. You can't really make any character decisions that are going to affect the story long term because you got to get back to the way things are normally, supposed to be for the main plot, for the canon plot to move forward. But there are, especially in Naruto too, there are a lot of filler episodes where, Naruto might just be going on a side mission to get a cat. And that feels slice of life.
Yeah.
But,
aspects. Yeah. And honestly, like, it's reverse for me. I was only slice of life and stuff like that. And then later on, I kind of wrote off like shonen being only one thing. And then now that I've consumed more shonen, I'm like more open to the genre entirely. So it is like interesting that like level of, going into a shonen that technically has filler, like in Naruto, like I'd be like, this is fine, because this is usually what I consume anyway. So like the fighting on top of it or the fighting to move on the plot, like that's cool. But Naruto getting a cat's also cool. If I like the characters enough, then I don't consider it like filler, like, oh my god, like this is hard to get through because I just want to see Naruto beat the crap out of this other guy. It's just like this is fine, which is kind of like it depends on what you like.
Yeah, it definitely depends on what you like, because there are types of slice of life that even within the main genre that I gravitate towards a little bit more. Like, I'm a sucker for the fantastical, the magical, but also just good old fashioned like drama. Like if you look at a series like Nana, and there are even some on my anime list that I would even argue are really slice of life. Which I don't know if maybe we've been clear enough on our personal definitions of slice of life. Maybe we've kind of been piecing it together during this part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Or defining it during this part of the conversation. But like Nana is a fantastic series, and it's full of just drama. It's not just that you're getting to see a character go grocery shopping or learn how to set up a TV or something. You're really involved in their personal relationships and the sort of effects and consequences of actions and how they affect relationships, and that's like enthralling. That's some like Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah,
right there,
Nana's like the telenovela of anime.
It's beautiful though. If you haven't seen Nana, it's on like YouTube for free, which is wild.
Yeah, no, Nana's one of the best. And all the characters are super flushed out. I mean, you believe them. You believe that they're like real people. They're not over dramatic. There's just things that happen that are like very real. And it is the main character is very self-aware, but still does things that she shouldn't be doing, which is realistic too. But Nana's a good representation. I mean, because it is the relationship between two people. But my classification for like a OG slice of life would be something like Lucky Star, would be something like Super Cub, would be even the aquarium one I just watched, the Aquatope on the white sand, which is really good. The animation's amazing, and I'm a sucker for anything that in a series, if it's like season 1, season 2, where you see them live to a certain point, and then just like real life, they would have a new chapter, and then they would live, and you would see that chapter as well. It's an amazing anime. But that's what I would consider. It is just them working at a job or doing that. Even like something like a Gretzko would also be considered like slice of life. There is things that happen in it, but it is just seeing her live.
And see, that's why it's complicated for me too, because I would make the argument that even something like a Gretzko, while it feels more slice of life, than maybe, other workplace anime, I do think that there is an overarching plot and a narrative as well too, which is why again I really don't think that a slice of life can't have that. And I think it's interesting too, in preparing for this video and doing research and looking at other people's definition and other websites' definitions of slice of life. Like, I think everybody kind of has their own definition.
Definitely. And that's why
definitionally.
Yeah. And that's why some people write it off. When people hear that you like slice of life, they're like, okay. Like, it's like, what? It's a genre and it's valid. Stop disvalidating me for my tastes.
Yeah, let's check
I was gonna fight them right
video,
now.
And you don't want to fight Mehgan, she'll
No.
win. Okay, she's got pocket sand. Okay, call her crocodile. You know what I mean? Call her crocodile. Okay.
You'd be crying crocodile tears if you come near me. That's all I gotta
say.
say.
That means that the tears are gonna be fake. That means that the tears are gonna be fake if they're crocodile tears.
Well, they're gonna be fake because they're trying to get me to feel sorry for them, so I stop beating them up.
I get it, and that's my bad.
Yeah.
And that's my bad. Let's look at this video that we pulled up earlier, and we got a new cool background. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, it's kind of purple. Yeah,
it matches its volume 1 theme. This is a video that we found when we were kind of looking into other definitions of slice of life, and I think this is an interesting question to be asked. So I'm gonna cue this up, and we will check out this video. This is a video by Lowarts, and we will link to the full video in the description down below. But let's just react to this.
Slice of life is
now.
used by many to describe a multitude of things. Some people use it to describe episodic series. Some use it to describe series where the plot takes a backseat to the characters. Some use it to describe a relaxed tone, and some use it to describe pretty much anything, evidently. Now, we could definitely engage in a discussion about the problems with this and dive into what slice of life really means, but this is a surprisingly complex topic. While many will tell you that the definition of slice of life is simple, since it is, after all, just a slice out of a character's life, most shows tend to be that, or at least have some elements of that. And I don't think anyone would claim that it's useful to use a genre tag to describe every show that comes out. We could turn to plays like Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot.
And speaking of plays and stuff, which is also what they are, sort of comparing it to, we actually got a comment on one of our One Piece videos not too long ago. And this commenter was trying to help, I think mainly Cody, understand, sort of the tone of One Piece. Now, you can agree or disagree, but I think that even if you disagree that this comparison is applicable to One Piece, I think it is very applicable to slice of life in general. And what that commenter said was basically that, One Piece to them is kind of like Friends, the sitcom Friends. Ross, Rachel,
Yeah, Ross
Monica.
is Luffy. Monica is Robin.
Monica is
Nami
Robin.
is Rachel.
Nami's for sure Rachel.
Usopp is
Chandler. Mm-hmm.
Joey is Chopper.
No, Joey
Sanji.
Joey Sanji for sure.
And then with Chopper, maybe he's just like a tune-in character. No, Chopper's
the monkey.
Chopper's the monkey. Chopper's the monkey.
Chopper's the monkey.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fair comparison, and not necessarily just in terms of One Piece, but in terms of slice of life. And what they said was basically that just like, you can tune in to Friends and you might be interested in, what's happening in the relationship between Ross and Rachel. And even though that plot line does move forward, have a beginning, a middle, and an end, it's not every episode. And you don't tune in expecting to get it every episode. You tune in knowing what you're getting. You're getting an episode where friends hang out and have to deal with shenanigans. And then every now and then you'll get an episode that really moves the plot forward.
Yeah. The one where they eat the devil fruit.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one where they find the One Piece. But I guess yours is better. Yeah.
Yeah, the one where they get on the merry-go.
Yeah, the one where the one with the clown, and that's where they meet like Buggy for the first time. I mean, we can sit here and do this.
I know, honestly. Comment your favorite, the one where they Friends title One Piece.
Comment your favorite. Yeah. One Piece Friends mashup episode.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Friends crewmates.
Yeah, like the Straw Hat Friends. I don't know.
That's like a Scarecrow sitcom.
The Straw Hat Friends. Well, they're called the Straw Hats in One Piece. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think it'd be like the Straw Hat Friends, but then that is just saying Straw Hats and Friends. Yeah,
we're working on it. Okay, give us a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what happens when you get it, in the moment. Okay, we don't have time. We don't have all the time in the world to kind of just sit and think.
Yeah. Comment for us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I think that's a really interesting way to look at it. And if you have a friend or someone who is, maybe only into shonen types of anime, or a friend who is, hesitant to get into slice of life, but does like anime, or maybe even doesn't know they like anime yet, I think that's a really cool way to sell someone on slice of life.
Definitely.
Because you can look at, Wotakoi, which, we'll probably be doing a review of this week as well. You could look at Wotakoi and call that the Big Bang for weebs.
Definitely. And
I got controversial comparisons. And if you think any I've said so far are controversial, strap in.
Strap in. Buckle up. Because we're going for a SOL ride, baby.
And now it's the timer's up. I can see it. And you're shit out of luck.
Oh. Yeah. He said it.
I said it.
He said it. Oh, what's the time now?
It's enough.
He's a shit out of luck. Crocodile's ears. I think that's a really good comparison. And honestly, like fighting for people that do like slice of life are fighting that they're like valid or trying to get your friends into something. If you even like, we'll pull up my anime list thing here soon. But if you go on technically what is classified as slice of life, like it is in the thousands. I mean,
oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's pretty crazy.
Ridiculous.
Like we were saying, some things like you wouldn't think would be classified as at all, but for whatever reason, I guess it has some aspects or what they think it is. It's very interesting. So if you think that you don't like slice of life, you probably already watched, if you're an avid watcher, probably a lot of these series and been like, I guess.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to say too. You're probably a slice of life watcher and fan and lover, and you don't even know it.
You don't even know it. And you want to deny it, but just accept it.
So if you go through my anime list, which we have here, you'll see obviously series like Toradora, Violet Evergarden, things that Clannad, things that do seem like they would belong on this slice of life list. But then you do see things like Mob Psycho, and you think to yourself, Mob Psycho is not a slice of life. And that's again where I'll respectfully disagree with my anime list. I don't, not that again, it can't have slice of life elements, but I just like, there is a vibe to me personally, to Josh, and that is going into like our personal definition that I don't think Mob has in terms of slice of life. Does that make sense? But I do love Mob. I love it so much.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then if you keep going through here, there'll be others that'll pop up that don't quite make sense. I do think that, Psyche K, something like a Psyche K, or even looking at something like Sakamoto, not Sakamoto Days, but Sakamoto
Desuga,
is can be a slice of life comedy. And slice of life also too, and by the way, if anybody in the Discord or anybody, watching and listening right now wants to, tally up how many times we say slice of life in this episode, that'd be great.
Take a shot every time you hear a slice of life.
Take a shot every time. For me, dude, I've been sober for I don't even know how long now, dude. Do it for me.
Do it. Yeah, do it for
me.
Josh. You probably won't be able to comment though after you're done.
Oh no, you'll be blasted. You'll be blackout drunk.
Yeah. You'll see your soul come out of your body.
I thought you were going to say soul out of your body?
Yeah.
So that's SOB. And that's an acronym for you son of a bitch.
Okay, stop cursing.
I'm sorry.
I do have like a slice of life. It goes hand in hand with wholesome. That's also my definition.
Okay.
So something like, I guess maybe Konosuba is technically slice of life, but it does have different subgenres like, ecchi and different things. So I don't know. Again, my definition is personal, but it really, you could pick and choose what you like in a slice of life genre versus like what you don't like. And because it is so vast.
Yeah.
There's so many different series.
For sure. Now that we've kind of defined slice of life and what it is online, according to various sources, and now that we've kind of defined what slice of life, kind of is to us, we thought it'd be interesting to give you a slice of life recommendation for a specific, possibly more shonen series. Some of them you're not going to agree with, and this might be the most controversial Volume 1 episode to date. But we are here. Yeah, shooty. Yes, shooty. Let's start with the first one. I think that, speaking of Mob, we saw Mob earlier.
Yeah.
I think that if you're a fan of Mob Psycho, and Cody, for example, is a huge fan of Mob Psycho, I would argue that a slice of life equivalent is Hina Matsuri.
Hina Matsuri.
Yeah.
Banger. You have a
and give me a little synopsis.
You have it's pretty much not kind of the same dynamic, but you have a child who has, supernatural powers or what's the word? Telekinetic powers. And then you have a main character that's, older than they are, obviously, like kind of like a father figure type.
Right.
They're both blonde.
Yes.
Nita. And
Reagan.
Reagan. It's a great series. I mean, both Mob and Hinamatsuri, like the comedy slaps. You'll be laughing really hard. And it is like very wholesome. There's a lot of
Super
moments
wholesome.
that are like, they go so many different directions that I've never really seen an anime like do. Like there is a manga for it as well. But there's like at one point, one of the characters is also a kid who like ends up homeless and has to like work for things and learns like what the meaning of like money and sharing things with people really is to her. And it's just a great series. And if you like if you like Mob Psycho, you're gonna really like Hinamatsuri because they're very similar.
My elevator pitch for it would be, telekinetic girl from another world and a mysterious origin, crash lands in a Yakuza gangster's apartment. Nita, and they are forced to sort of work out their differences.
Yeah.
And it is so funny. There's only, I think, one season out. And I wish there were more. It is so funny. And like Mehgan said, not only does the comedy slap, and that's to quote her, but yeah, there's an arc with a character who becomes homeless, and everything in Hinamatsuri and what I like about its comedy, and oftentimes, slice of life and comedy do go so well together. They kind of are. Sometimes it feels like peanut butter and jelly.
Definitely.
And so I think in Hinamatsuri, what's great about the comedy is that it's not played for a joke. I mean, it is played for a joke, but it's not played for a joke and then it vanishes, right? Or then, if you were to watch other anime or any other type of animated series, maybe a character will pull a stick out and they'll hit you on the head and you'll get a bump, and then the next it'll cut to the next frame, and then that character will be fine because it's something that's like a gag.
Yeah, all of the jokes are like canon, and they continue to like build up. Like the comedy continues to land because the jokes are like solidified in the show, and they continue to build off of each other, and it's great. It's so funny.
All of the jokes have consequences and are dealt with, and so you end up where in a sitcom or in any other slice of life or maybe any other anime or shonen that has comedy, these moments will not affect the overall plot, but people and characters have to deal with those situations, and then that situation will get more absurd and more absurd and more absurd and more absurd to a point, and it'll get to a point where it stops feeling absurd. And it just, it is funny, but it also makes sense. Like it never feels like it gets so absurd or too absurd that you can't even process, how characters in this world would lead themselves or get into these positions. But it does get to a point where you're like, man, I don't know how we got here, but I'm here and I believe it and I'm laughing my ass off. It's so incredibly funny. And to your point about wholesome, it is one of the most wholesome, and touching series that has so many life lessons in it and things and ways to express these life lessons to other people that I had never heard or thought of ever, talking about in that way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you said too, to kind of go off what you said, there is a character who becomes homeless, and her arc for the majority of the first season is, it's funny at first that she's homeless, but then she has to live, and then she has to figure out how to make money, and then she has to figure out what being homeless means and where to sleep and how to protect herself. And there's some things that are played for jokes, but then by the end of it, it's genuinely heartwarming. And you get to see her kind of learn the value of money and hard work.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow. With also, the occasional, granted, not as often, but the occasional cool telekinetic, power.
Yeah, action
display.
There's some action, obviously not on the level of like Mob Psycho, but there are some cool scenes, and obviously the main character Nita is a Yakuza, like ex-Yakuza member, and he's like also hilarious. His interaction with like his boss and what he does for a living. It just fits so well with these two characters, and they just kind of like mesh, and then it just goes from there. There's no really like questioning like, okay, well, we got to do this because you need to get back to where you came from. It's just like, yeah, well, you're here now.
Yeah.
You're here. So do you want to go get dinner? And then they eat dinner. And it's just it is very, very cute. I hope they make a season 2 because it's amazing.
I would love for them to make a season 2. And I just also want to say too, that the animation is phenomenal as well. Mob, is in a, I think, class of its own when it comes to animation and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying it tops or even is equal to the animation of Mob, but it is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And well
it's
done.
really pretty. Yeah, like bright colors. Again, the comedy lands no matter what, the dialogue or like the facial expressions or moments. Like if you like Mob, check out Hinamatsuri. And I would even say maybe too, like Psyche K would be in that category as well, because he does have like psychic powers and like his family has to deal with that, and his friends don't necessarily know. And
I'm glad you brought up Psyche K, because it is kind of strange that Psyche K does feel like it leans more comedy, but then I think of Hinamatsuri and I think, man, Hinamatsuri leans mostly, not even mostly, but a lot of the time on comedy as well. But I think the difference maybe between the two is that Hinamatsuri does feel overall more wholesome and is consistently more wholesome than Psyche K, even though Psyche K can have a moment and play it wholesome. I think it's few and far between compared to Hinamatsuri.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, check out Hinamatsuri. It's on either Funimation or Crunchyroll. If you like Mob Psycho, I challenge you. I freaking dare you.
And if you've already watched it, let us know if that's like a valid. I mean, we were thinking of like all the things that are similar, and that was the main one we could think of. Like even pitching it to like Cody, who's someone who really likes Mob Psycho,
which is how we pitched it to him.
Yeah, we said, "Oh, we like Mob Psycho. You really like this because it's kind of the same thing." And he's like, "Oh, that sounds like I would really like it." Like, watch it now, because it is one of my favorite anime, and it came out I think maybe 2018, not too long ago. It's really good.
Next on the list is a isekai slice of life comparison. Mehgan has come to the realization over the past year that she is in fact a shonen gal. However, she is definitely not. What?
I'm not going to take back what I said.
What?
I am a shonen gal, but that's not all I am.
That's not all you are, but I mean, you were saying that you weren't at all. And you definitely are.
I definitely am. I take that. I didn't mean to fight you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
I'm sorry. I'm just you said that I want to fight them, and now I'm like, I'm ready to fight. Right. I have that fighting energy. I'm fighting for a slice of life. I'm fighting for my own life.
Yeah, you're fighting for a slice of your own life.
Yeah.
Just like I fight.
Where's the knife?
I fight people for a slice of pizza sometimes.
I've seen it.
Well, yeah, because sometimes.
Yeah. At the cash register, you'll go up and say, "Hey, can I get a hot and ready?" And they say, "Oh, sir, it's not ready yet." And then you go over the counter and then you start like beating the cashier up. And they go, "Sir, it's not hot and ready yet." And you go, "I don't care."
Why would they call it hot and ready if it's not ready?
And then you go
if
in the back.
If you're going to be bold enough to have it in the title of the pizza, then have it ready.
And then you go in the back and you go, "Where's Little Caesar?" And you start getting really angry. You start throwing sauce everywhere. And it's like really, really
Don't
crazy.
Call it hot ready. Call it hot in 5 minutes. Ready in 5. Hot and ready in 5.
That's better.
Hot and ready in 5. And then I'll be more chill.
Yeah. Pizza, more like timer.
Yeah, more like pizza. More like I don't know. I lost it.
We got a new background.
Oh yeah, we got another new background. It's the no signal background. It's exclusive.
It's exclusive. It's only on this episode.
Yeah.
So.
So all that to say about Mehgan being realizing she's a shonen gal, she hasn't really, I don't think, fully come around to, which is totally fine. Everybody has their own taste, preferences, everything, but I don't think you've fully come around to isekai yet.
No, I don't. People try to fight me on this too, and like I said, I don't want to be like inclusive or like have my blinders on to certain anime, because there are isekais that I've watched that I've been like, oh, that's pretty cool, but I just feel like they're very repetitive. And I've said this before, I'm not like super dead set on fantasy, like the fantasy genre in general. I'm not sure why. I just feel like it's really, 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 really repetitive to me. If there's a series that you really recommend, I do like My Life, My Next Life as a Villainess. Like, that's cool because it is a different take on it. If you have a recommendation, like, please let me know. I'm open to watching them, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm watching the same thing with the same type of rules, and there's always a main protagonist that's like a dumbass, and it's like loving to learn and doing things wrong, and I don't know. I just kind of lost it. I lost it.
Mm. We're gonna have to have a separate video where we expose you to the creme de la creme of the isekai pot.
Isekai eye to eye.
That's great. That's genuinely great. So anyway, this year I always mispronounce it. Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei is a very popular series.
Tenchi.
And a lot of people compare it to The Faraway Paladin, which is a series I highly recommend and a series I love, based off a light novel, then turned into a manga, now an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Anime looks beautiful. I've watched a couple episodes, but read the manga. Absolutely love it. Also, to talk a little bit about like that time I got reincarnated as a slime as well. I really do enjoy that series.
Yeah, I never watched that.
It's a really good series, and I do apologize to the slime heads out there.
Oh,
but I feel like you really have to like isekai
to like
and fantasy to like I feel like you don't necessarily have to, and then maybe this is just me, but I feel like you don't really have to necessarily love fantasy or isekai to like something like, I would even argue, Re:Zero. To an extent, sure. But I mean, I feel like that time I got reincarnated as a slime, leans really into the grinding aspect of isekai and like leveling up and sort of like, getting stronger and stronger and developing new powers and new abilities and stuff like that. So it's not something I would really recommend if you're already kind of, 1 foot in, 1 foot out with isekai. But, if you're a fan of any of those, I think, in my opinion, and I've only seen a little, so I'm going to let Mehgan I've only seen a little bit of one of these, so I'm going to let Mehgan take the reins. The first one is By the Grace of the Gods. Mehgan, tell them a little bit about By the Grace of the Gods.
I saw this, I think, last season or 2021, I think it came out, maybe 2020. But it is basically like a standard isekai. A man gets reincarnated as a little boy, and he, learns how to raise slime, and then becomes really good at it. And starts like training them to do certain tasks. Like there'll be like a slime that cleans, clothes, or there'll be a slime that breaks down like wood, or like all these different types of slime. He's kind of communicated to them or raised them so that they kind of, follow orders from him, which is kind of not what they do. People haven't seen it before. So he then like, first of all, he has kind of like a agreement with like these 3 gods, and they kind of give him like special treatment. So they check in on him from time to time. But he does like open a store, and like the whole plot is just him opening up this store and like hiring employees and him running the store. And, it's the best because there's people that are like, oh, nothing can get out, dungeon, filth. Like, they're nothing. Like, I've tried everything. And he's like, well, I have slimes to take care of that for you. And it's like a huge business booming and everyone loves him. And it's just cute. I mean, I didn't expect to like it as much. And it's just like heartwarming and you can just turn it on and chill. It's very just like turn off your brain and feel like good.
You've expressed in the past too a little bit of you've seen a little bit of trepidatious when it comes to like recommending that series because it is really about just that and just about sort of just being there.
Yeah.
Be there and just to have a window into this guy's slime shop.
Yeah, there are some he does take some missions or quests, I guess, to help other people out, but it is just mainly him doing that, and it's very, slow paced, but in a relaxing way, not like I'm tearing out my. So you would definitely
call it cozy then.
I would call it cozy. For sure. And if you like Isekai, I mean, it is just a slice of life Isekai. Like I said, Konosuba is kind of considered, slice of life. But by the grace of the gods, I think would be more. It's not comedy heavy at all. It is just, fantasy slice of life Isekai. If you want, a slice of life that's kind of in that comedy realm, and has aspects of like the fantasy world, like different creatures and like random references to like video games or their anime, I would recommend what is it called? The Dragon Goes House Hunting. I think this came out last season too. So funny, so cute. This dragon gets kicked out of his house because he's like not a good dragon, and he's kind of like a baby. He can't do anything himself, so he has to try to find a new house, and this elf lord comes in to help him. He's like a realtor pretty much.
Yeah, I've seen some screenshots, and it looked like the dragon was the realtor, but it looks hilarious just from a Google search.
It's so cute that I really, really enjoyed it. And he just goes from, every episode they go maybe to 2 other houses, and it's like, oh, this house was built by dwarves, so it's, because he's looking for a place because everyone else wants to kill him because he's a dragon. So everywhere they go, there's like threats of people that don't like dragons or can't keep him safe, or, oh no, this place won't work because I'm scared. Like there was like this mansion that was haunted and he's scared of ghosts. So he's like, this isn't going to work. And he's a baby. And it's just such a great, great anime. Very cozy, but also like really, really funny. Not isekai, but fantasy genre for sure. So
yeah, fantasy, I think, and something you were saying that leans more towards the comedy side, like Konosuba.
And it's very wholesome. It's very wholesome. There's a lot of cute moments in it too, but Konosuba is definitely, raunchy comedy. Isekai.
Very raunchy.
Yeah. I was like taken back in the last episode of the first season was wild.
That was wild. That was wild.
Oh, I kind of stopped it, and I was like, I'll come back to this maybe, because it was like a hard. I mean, obviously, like, see Aqua's ass during the whole thing, and other things too. But I was like, I can deal with that. This is fine.
Right.
But then it just got weird. Like that last
episode was crazy. That last episode is genuinely crazy. I mean, the panty joke. Funny. So funny. One of the funniest, I would say, jokes in the first season. Mm-hmm. It was so. And this might sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but I hadn't remembered laughing that hard watching anything in a long time. As hard as I laughed when I watched that that scene. But this takes it. This last episode, or that last episode, takes it a step further to a point where even me, I was like, what am I watching? What have I become?
Yeah, it makes you question. It's definitely raunchy, but it was just like, we're going to fit in every dirty joke and every fan servicey thing into this last episode because it's the last episode of the season. And maybe, even it got like, even to mention Kaguya in fan service too. Like, remember that OVA? That was crazy. I was shook.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Super shook. And we're going to definitely come back to Love is War. I want to come back, but I'm sure everybody's asking. I loved Konosuba so much. I told you had to watch it.
Yeah.
Now that you have watched it, and I gotta say, first of all, for me, upon first initial watch of Konosuba,
Oh, you're best girl.
I was best girl. Darkness all day. This Megumin sort of like obsession.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
I don't get it. Darkness all the way. Upon rewatch, I gotta say Aqua.
Oh, Aqua's my fave. Aqua's my fave.
I gotta say
Darkness is
Aqua.
hilarious, but Aqua's just like 10 times funnier. Like
Yeah.
her personality is so funny, and the dub voice actors are like amazing, and Aqua's voice
Kill
just
it.
like sells
She
it.
kills it.
Her dynamic with what's his name, Kazuya?
Oh yeah,
Kazuma, like so funny. She's just so cute, and like she just is positive, and their
sells-
relationship is so funny.
That character, everything that character needs to be, even when she like a full of herself goddess,
Mhm.
but then at the same time like kind of dumb, but like dumb and confident. Like she sells it so perfectly. The dub is fantastic. The Konosuba dub is fantastic.
Yeah. And I would
yeah.
say I don't understand the Megumin. I mean, she's cool,
She's great.
but it's just like Darkness and Aqua are so much better. And fight me, come fight me.
There are gonna be a lot of explosions in the.
There's gonna be a lot of explosions, and looking at it, Konosuba, like who realistically the cosplay, for me it'd be her.
Megumin, sure.
Yeah. But I mean, I like her. I don't know if I'd like her enough to cosplay her, but who knows?
Yeah,
Tune
she's
in.
great, but I mean, just like compared to the other two.
No, nowhere. Even her friend.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. But Aqua's best girl.
And I have to agree. But to get back to Love is War, I don't know if you guys are ready for this one, but I'm gonna say it. It needs to be said.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna say it.
Oh.
I think
Oh shit.
that if you like Death Note, then you will love Love is War. I'll say it because it's the psychological warfare. It's that aspect of these two series. It's what they have in common. Love is War. I remember watching the first episode when it came out, and I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed the series based on, PVs or trailers that I had seen before. It was so funny, but it was also so interesting from a psychological, point of view.
Yeah.
And just to see them go back and forth it's like Light and L if they wanted to fuck each other. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've seen. That was a spoiler. I'm not gonna say anything, but it is definitely that. I fell in love the moment I saw the first episode. The animation is beautiful. They take so many liberties too with like it being like a slice of life romantic comedy. Like there are crazy scenes that take it way over the top. And the opening is a banger. The ED is a banger. These characters hilarious. And it is like super psychological. And every episode there's a little banner that goes like Kaguya won this round or like Shirogami. Oh shoot, President. I'll just call him President.
Yeah, I forget his
President,
name all the time.
Yeah, it's something with the S. Wins this round, and it's just so funny because they really are winning against each other, but they both want the same thing.
Yeah.
Versus like Light and L, obviously they're conflicting. You don't want to find out, but it's just like cat and mouse of like you guys are fighting against what you both want, and it's so silly.
Yeah, I think it's a popular series too. I'm sure if you're watching this video and you've been a fan of anime for a while, then of course you know about Love is War. It's on your radar.
Or at least you know the Chica dance.
Or
Chica.
Chica.
Yeah, you know the character.
Yeah, you've
got
get it,
to. Yeah.
But if you've been on the fence, or if you're someone who's not quite sure what it's about, and season 3 is going to be premiering pretty soon.
Oh my gosh.
Which I'm so excited for
I'm
too.
so excited.
But yeah, it's something that I really, really, really encourage anybody who is on the fence to watch, because not only is it funny, but I would even argue, as funny as it is, and it is funny, that it's more interesting to watch the mental warfare. Because we not only like with Light and L, like of course, they they're pros at what they do. But with the president and Kaguya, like you said, they want the same thing. But at the same time, too, we've all kind of been in a similar situation. I would say, we've always, we've at one point in our lives all been in a situation where, we're not trying to reveal that we have feelings for somebody, where we're playing this game of like
cat and mouse,
cat and mouse, but also like putting feelers out there. And then what to do with the feelers, and so it's just so funny. But most of all, and the reason why I like it the most, or more than I thought I would, is that psychological mental warfare sort of aspect of it. Can't wait for season 3.
Yeah,
and
like we said, I mean, the shock of the OVA was enough to shake all of California.
The world,
me,
I would say.
I would say, it was definitely like...
You got to think outside your bubble, the world, I would say.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. That was on me. My California bubble has been shattered.
Yeah. It's popped.
It's popped. My California bubble's been popped,
you
guys.
Popped it.
But yeah, it was crazy. And I'm not sure. I didn't do like research on why. Maybe just because people were like complaining that there wasn't fan service, which is also kind of crazy. But they just put it all out there.
Yeah, because that's also something too about slice of life that I think we, really didn't talk about as much. You mentioned wholesome, but there are a lot of series like Konosuba that do dip. You would call Konosuba ecchi.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that slice of life tend to be more wholesome than ecchi. And all that to say that Love is War has that one crazy episode that is very sexual and very like fan servicey, but that is the only time I think outside of some chica boob.
That happens. That tends to happen.
That's the only sort of fan servicey stuff you'll get, and the chica boob is usually it's usually a fully clothed chica boob.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like a
chica boob.
the
chica boob tree.
Yeah, the chica boob. Yeah.
It was pretty wild. But I mean, other than that, there's not really any fan servicey stuff, and I can't really say that I've watched too many slice of life with that. Like subgenre of ecchi. I think Konosuba would be one of the first ones that I would like classify as like kind of slice of life, kind of ecchi. But if you have any recommendations, if you know any that I don't know.
Too, Love is War also gets a little wholesome from time to time too.
Oh yeah, very cute, because it is just like these two characters who can't share their feelings. Like they're smart in so many different ways, but when it comes to this thing that they have no idea about, they kind of just like fail like from time and time again.
Yeah.
Very awkward, but yeah. Great.
So I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying it. I'm looking at you right in the eye. Or if you're listening, and you're not watching, I'm getting real close. I'm getting right up on your ear. And I'm telling you that if you like Death Note, you will enjoy, and specifically the psychological mental warfare, you will love Love is War. I'm going to say it.
You might go to war for that statement.
I will go to war for love.
Aw.
And for Love is War, because I do love Kaguya. And that's another thing, too. You want to know best girl. Everybody, of course, is like, chica this, chica that. And for me, Kaguya.
Kaguya is all day.
All day.
All day.
Not a debate.
Not a debate. And you can debate us.
Yeah. I dare you. Just kidding.
No, I dare you.
Megan's in a fighting mood today, too.
I have been. I want to fight.
So this last one is a little, I would say, controversial for a different reason, because technically it's not classified, or necessarily should be classified as a slice of life, but is a series that has slice of life aspects,
tendencies,
and can be looked at as a more sort of not wholesome, but maybe like a more brighter version of the other.
I would even it's like a teeter below. It's a teeter higher of not being a slice of life than I would say like Fruits Basket is.
Okay.
But it has the same type of plot. Like people say, oh, if you like Fruits Basket, you're really gonna like this series that we're about to talk about. And if
which by the way, you told me that because I love Fruits Basket. As you can tell, I'm rocking my Fruits Basket crew neck today. But you told me that this series, if I liked Fruits Basket, I was gonna like this series. And in my mind, I thought it was gonna be a similar vibe, a similar story, a similar world. And the first episode comes on, and I was baffled. In what world this is compared to Fruits Basket, I don't know.
Because it does have drama moments. You do get to meet like god characters, which is kind of like related to Fruits Basket. Like supernatural beings. We have a girl that's normal who ends up like kind of being in the mix somehow, some way, and trying to help this other guy.
Okay.
There are, and obviously there's like romantic things that happen in the show. So like that's where they are similar. It's not as dramatic or has these like, family drama stuff, but it gets pretty dark, and I would to an extent, and then I would say like sad.
Okay, and again, this is a series I've only seen the first episode of, but was immediately captivated by the way it opened. And my gut reaction to seeing this series, instead of it being compared to a Fruits Basket, I would compare it to a Jujutsu Kaisen. And so I would say that if you love Jujutsu Kaisen and, possibly even something like a Bleach, then you will love Noragami. And Mehgan, take it away. Tell them a little bit about Noragami, which again, technically isn't a slice of life, but does have a few slice of life aspects.
Yeah.
So this is the one you're going to have to give us a little.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but it just pretty much is like the first episode, or the ongoing plot is just this god who's not really recognized much in the god community because he doesn't really have his own like shrine or temple. He doesn't have a lot of followers, so he's trying to gain followers by doing good and defeating like these spirit things and these bad like omens to get his name around. They have these like it's kind of like Soul Eater, where they'll have these like
I did get that vibe
weapons, or that are like people that are assigned to them, and even his weapon was like, I don't want to do this with you anymore, like you're tarnishing my reputation. And he's like, damn. And it's pretty much just him throughout the show trying to be recognized in the god like council. He meets this other girl who has this spirit. I don't want to give too much away. She has like the spiritual thing going on, so she's trying to help him, and he's trying to help her. And then we meet another character. It's just great because there are a lot of characters that you meet along the way that could be like humans, but also like the gods and stuff that you meet. I think you meet the god of like money, and the god of like poverty, like stuff like that. It has been a while since I've seen it, but I would recommend it to anyone, especially if you like Fruits Basket, especially if you like Jujutsu Kaisen, because there are like fight scenes, and there are spiritual realms and possession and like demons and gods, and it is very, very fun to watch. Again, if you like romantic stuff, I would highly recommend it as well. And it is wholesome, some scenes that are like gut-wrenching and sad. And it has everything that you would want in an anime. Like, it's very complete.
Yeah, this is probably going to go at the beginning of the episode, this part right here. Watch.
Oh, okay.
If you like Jujutsu Kaisen, you'll love Fruits Basket, okay? And we'll show you how to do the math to get there. So if you love Jujutsu Kaisen, then you'll love Noragami. And if you love Noragami, you'll love Fruits Basket. Therefore, I repeat, if you love Jujutsu Kaisen, you'll love Fruits Basket. Is that fair?
That's a valid mathematical statement.
And we're being bold in 2022. We're being bold. Okay, we're taking risks. We're taking chances. We're saying stuff that everybody else is afraid to say.
Yeah, we're fighting.
Yeah, but we're also we're fighting. But
well, we're fighting. bring it on in the comments. Kidding.
Oh, wow.
Imagine I'm calling him out. No, honestly, I just want to clear up the slice of life name. You know, I really want to get to the bottom of the hate that it receives, or the dismissiveness of, oh, that's just a slice of life, it's not worth my time, because you guys are missing on so many great stories. And you have to think about it like that. And, you know, you can just watch a show about someone doing something. It doesn't have to be, you know, he has to climb the highest mountain to, you know, get the biggest sword to fight the strongest demon. Like, there's so many stories that I feel like people are missing out on when it comes to slice of life, because it's just a lot of heartwarming stuff. I get if you're not into that, you know, you don't want to watch it, but there's a lot of things that like make you like your heart happy, and you can just turn it on and feel cozy and like relax to it. And that's kind of my definition of slice of life too.
Yeah, and like you said, it doesn't have to just be you watching people do stuff or watching cute anime girls do stuff. Like, it can have a through line. It can be fantastical. It can be magical. You know, we've learned today that Death Note basically is Love is War. And we've learned today that Jujutsu Kaisen basically is Fruits Basket.
Yeah.
And we've learned today that
It's
Mob Psycho
Noragami.
is definitely Hinamatsuri.
You keep saying Jujutsu Kaisen, it's an origami. It's not a Fruits Basket.
No, I know, but then you know
you're
how
talking
you do the
about
math.
yeah,
how you
doing
do
the
the math.
math.
You gotta show your work to get there.
Got it.
You know what I'm
got
saying?
it. So yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, and even if you know you're watching this video and you've watched all the way to this point, thank you so much. We appreciate it, right? We appreciate it. You know, maybe you're someone who loves slice of life, and you're finding either you're new to it or you've always loved it. Maybe you found a couple new series that you might want to check out. Maybe you've never really liked slice of life, or you've never really watched it before. Now you have, I think, a better idea of some series that you might want to check out. And if you are someone who maybe has a friend that is hesitant to get into this genre, now you might have a better idea of how to approach him, how to come at him, because it's all about, you know, it's all about mind games. You know what I mean? It's all about, you know, getting in someone's head, you know?
Yeah, or if you just want them to see these series that are really good and you want to share things with your friends because you care about them and you know they'll like them, I would recommend these series. If you know, go on my anime list, look up what is considered a slice of life. I'm sure you'll find, if you've not already watched a couple, I'm sure you'll find series that sound interesting, or could lighten up your world, I guess. Like, Your Camp for me is very fun to watch. Things that make me want to do things in real life, I think is a clear indicator of like, oh, this is a great series. Like, when I watched Your Camp, I was like, I want to go camping.
Yeah,
the fishing one, I'm like, I want to fish. It's just fun, and you just see, you know, what they're about, and you don't have to watch them fight or watch them, you know, kill people. It is just a nice kind of relief of, you know, maybe some other things that you're watching in the series. Like, I always kind of balance it out with slice of life and like an action and maybe even a romance. But yeah, if you have any like suggestions too, I've watched a fair amount. But you know, comment your favorite slice of life, or something that you would consider slice of life that is, or if you something that you wouldn't consider slice of life that technically is on that list, because we found a lot that are kind of questionable, I guess. Yeah,
very questionable.
And if your opinions are questionable to you, like, let us know as well.
Yeah, call us out. You know, let us know. Let us know what you think of our comparisons in the comments down below, and let us know what you think of this type of video as well. It's a new type of video that we are experimenting with. It's a way to get to talk about more series. If you'd like to see us go more in depth on any of these series, let us know too. Or even if you like this style of video but would like it to be longer and to cover, you know, more and talk more about each series, let us know too.
Yeah, and like specific genre videos too are really fun because, you know, we've read a lot, watched a lot, different genres across the board. So it'd be fun to do this with, like, you know, even like shonen anime. If you like this shonen, maybe you'll like this. You know, it's like it's interesting. I guess like what's the word? Like challenge for us to be
A brain
like,
exercise.
oh yeah, brain
challenge,
exercise. You know,
yeah.
she's shonen. Like if you like this shonen, then you'll like this like romance anime. Like something like that would be fun. Because there are people that don't like shonen, write it off like I did for so many years, where there's like something like Hunter x Hunter, which has everything I would want in a shonen, like the character moments, you know, all that stuff. Like something, you know, a video that really shakes people and been like, if you like this, watch this, because I know you'll. I know, just open your heart.
Yeah,
to
open your
anime
heart
and to different genres, because I feel like if you do, and you know, write off slice of life, you guys are missing out on so many good, you know, anime and manga.
Yeah, open your heart, and you know what? By opening your heart, you know, you might get hurt, but you know, it's that pain that lets you know how valuable life really is. You know, so open up a little bit in 2022. Open up. So yeah, let us know what you think of this type of video. We're going to be experimenting. We told you guys we were going to be experimenting with a lot of new types of videos. Again, while we're dealing with, you know, Cody and, you know, him being sick and not being able to record, at least here in the studio with us, expect to see some videos that Cody will be working on and uploading on this channel, as well as make sure to check out, if you haven't checked out and subscribed to already, the Volume 1 Highlights channel. We are going to be uploading more consistently. Megan's going to be taking over some of the duties. Cody's going to be taking over some of the duties and uploading more consistently. So, you know, subscribe to the Volume 1 Highlights channel.
Yes.
Show your friend a little highlight, you know.
Highlight.
We're going to start building up more of them, and you'll have more to show. Yeah, also just at the very end here to update everybody, we'll reiterate it in future episodes as well. The Berserk Live obviously has to be postponed a little bit as well too.
Yeah, and
because
everything that's going on, but we are, you know, so excited, so many emotions, and best believe it's going to be worth the wait, because we got some crazy stuff planned for that live. And, you know, we're going to be shedding tears.
We're going to be shedding tears. We've already said it before, but we're trying to reach out to, you know, a special guest. We're trying to maybe get some cosplay going.
Woo!
And we're going to keep the rest a little bit of a mystery, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be great. And speaking of great, I had a great time.
I had a great time too. This is like, you know, it's new for you guys. It's new for us too. So.
Yeah, let us know what you think of the new setup here too.
Yeah.
It's a way for us to also, you know, and this is just to let you guys in the mind and a little behind the scenes here at the very end for the people who care. This is sort of also a way for us to really 2022 start experimenting with different types of content, like we said before, but also to divide and conquer, you know, to be able to cover you know, more series in all sorts of different kinds of pairings.
Yeah.
That way, you know, none of us suffer burnout while two of us are doing something. Another person can be, you know, recuperating, resting, or doing something else. It's a way for us to cover more series and to do and make more videos while also like maintaining our sanity. I think, and that's going to be really important in 2022 because we're coming out hot.
Yeah, and you know, divide and conquer, but also that means, you know, like Josh said, like making different types of videos that would be fun. You know, for not only us to like, you know, get out of maybe rhythms that we've you know, established, and trying new things. Like it like really is fun for us to do. So if you guys have any suggestions on a video you guys might want to see, it really helps out a lot. Just because, you know, we want to show you guys what you want to see and maybe work around something that would be fun for us to do for you guys. So definitely let us know. And 2022 is for you.
That's pretty good. I was a little worried about where that was going to go.
Okay.
Before we get out of here, though,
you.
we do have to shout out and we do have to thank our wonderful, our amazing, our beautiful Patreon members.
Woo!
Thank every single
yeah,
one of you
yeah.
guys. Your support means the world to us.
Love you
especially
guys.
going into this year. We have been experimenting with even offering new stuff to our Patreon members and talking and our YouTube members and talking more
What?
about different sort of exclusive things we can give to them. Like, for example, this week I streamed FNAF Five Nights at Freddy's exclusively
What?
for our Patreon members because I'm a gamer now.
What?
And if you'd like, that video is still up. That stream is still up. It was so much fun. If you'd like to see that, you can still see it by becoming a YouTube member, by clicking join on this video, or by going to patreon.com/volume1pod, becoming a Patreon member. And you get all of that stuff, everything. You get our bonus exclusive Patreon bonus podcast. You get access to those exclusive streams, early access to videos. You get all that at our lowest tier. There are other tiers that include, little things here and there, little additions. But it's really, we really want to offer everything to everybody at the lowest tier. And if out of the kindness of your heart, you are in a financial, position or situation where you can give more, that's awesome. But if you're not, we also want to be able to give you as much as we can give you, because your support, no matter how much you give, it really like changes our lives, especially at this level. It changes our lives, and it means so much to us, and we really do appreciate it. So once again, if you'd like to become a YouTube member, click join on this video. And if you'd like to become a Patreon member, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod.
Woo! And okay, this is harder. And if you guys didn't know, I hear something. What is that?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, it's the wind. It's the algorithm gang wind.
Oh, wow.
They broke wind. And the wind also told me that if you want to join the algorithm gang and break wind too, you can comment on this video below, and it actually counts as a free tip for our channel and for us. You can comment a comment, you can comment a period, or you can comment "I just broke wind," and it'll be as acted as a tip, a free tip.
Yeah. And you can leave us a comment and review on iTunes and Spotify or whatever, all that stuff. We really appreciate all of it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, especially going into 2022. Get excited, get hype, because it's real. And it's going down. The only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes, which today is
chicken noodle soup for the soul.
Okay, I mean, I remember those books when they came out.
They kind of always are like, they always look like dirty.
Oh, they always look dirty.
They always look dirty. They look like a cookbook. Like,
they do look like a cookbook. And then when you see chicken noodle on the cover, you're like, am I supposed to, am I supposed to eat like,
the book? Yeah, Josh, you're supposed to eat the book.
That's not what I was gonna say. But you could say like, yeah, chicken noodle soup for the soul, because it does. It is good. Slice of life is good for your soul.
Don't write off SOL just yet.
SOL?
More like
S. Oh God.
SOL, more like LOL. SOL.
I mean, that's not bad, but
SOL, more like
we could just say SOL more like LOL.
Because it sounds like we're like joking about like slice of life. Like, it's not a joke.
Okay, take a slice out of life. Until next time, take a slice out of life. That's like encouraging.
That is encouraging.
Okay.
I like that one.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time,
take a slice out of life. In my life. Why did I do that? Do people live life? So.
Oh, that's good. Is that the original?
No, it's Willie Smith. Mr. Smith.
I'm out.